Missing someone with all your missing someone
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a very special guest. Her name is Hilary and we both work at the same salon.
Hey guys, super excited to be here. I'm Hilary. You can find me at Hilary Smiley Hair on IG.
We are going to be doing a very fun hair transformation for you guys today. We have a hair model. She has completely virgin hair. So we're going to both collab on doing a haircut and color. So stay tuned. Alrighty guys, so here is our hair models before. She has completely virgin hair. She's never colored it before and we were honestly so stoked. We had so many people apply and send us photos of their hair. So thank you to everyone who entered and kind of showed us their hair pictures. There's going to be more opportunities like this in the future, so stay posted if you didn't get chosen. So before we started color, Hilary and I decided that we wanted something really layered in her haircut. So Hilary is going to start her haircut first.
Such a big change. It's going to be so fun. I'm so excited. So what I'm thinking is we're going to do something really fun and funky and shaggy and bring up her we're going to add like a cute shaggy bang to frame her face a little bit, and then we're gonna just like cut into all of this weight basically. We're gonna keep it like pretty long, but I want to see like so much more like movement in the hair than what we have right now. Right now it's just like a sheath and it's long and beautiful, but it's not. We're gonna make it fun and funky.
She has so much hair, guys. It's like very thick. So for a majority of the haircut, since our model had so much hair, Hilary decided to do more of a razor cut in the beginning, and then she finished off the haircut with her shears to kind of detail the last finishing touches. I generally like to do dry cutting before I do the color because sometimes you end up cutting a lot, and if you do the color first and then cut off all the color, it's like such a waste. So we started off with a haircut and then we're gonna go into the color. So for today's products, we're going to be using some Blonde Me Schwarzkopf lightener. I have a huge little bucket here, and I'm going to be mixing that with 20 volume. Since Hilary and I are going to be applying this together, we should both be relatively fast in our application. So we're just going to be using 20 volume throughout the whole way, and then our goal is to pretty much process her to about, like, I would say a clean level 9 for the colors that we're trying to do. So for our color placement, we wanted something that was kind of like a peekaboo color, similar to an underlight, but we decided to do a halo placement. So since she gave a really beautiful shaggy cut in the front that has like really nice face frame and some textured curtain bangs, I wanted the color to kind of peek through the bangs on the underneath and then have all of her virgin natural hair just overlay on top of it, because we're going to be using some super bright colors and I thought that that would be a really pretty contrast to her natural color. So basically after we finished our sectioning, we went ahead and started to apply our lightener. And so basically what we're pretty much doing is just doing slices back to back throughout this whole halo underneath section. This is going to create a very solid effect on the underneath, and then once we're all done just like slicing the whole halo section, we are going to be hitting her root so that the color starts all the way to the scalp. And then this came with the fun part. We were deciding on which Pull Bright semis to use. We knew we wanted something bright, but we didn't know which color palette yet. We did discuss that we wanted something that we've never seen before, and we thought that maybe doing something part of the neon, something really bright and not too pastel, would work really well against her virgin hair. So we basically just kind of saw what colors we already had and then what colors were missing. So we bought some extra colors, and the base of it, I would say we mixed in some neon, some of the new Elemental collection, and what we came up with was having 3 different color blocks that had different types of ombre to them. So the root would have one color and then melted into another color, and then the buffering color in between, the transition color, would be Ghost Blood, which is part of the new Elemental collection. If you guys have never used Ghost Blood before, it is a semi-toner. So it's a little bit different from the other semi-permanents because it's not what you see in the bowl. But it's kind of similar to using like a purple shampoo where it will tone the blonde. So instead of using clear as buffer between our two colors that we're going to be blending together, we're going to be using Ghost Blood to blend them together. And then the great thing about Ghost Blood is you never have to worry about it getting too dark. It's a very light semi-permanent, so it will always stay nice and bright to your blondes. So after mixing up our color palette, our model still had time to process, so I went ahead and asked Hilary some questions about herself.
Hey guys, my name is Hilary Smiley. I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm 29 years old and I've been doing hair for about 5 years.
Okay, Hilary, so where are you from?
So I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri in the Midwest, and I've been here in LA for 9 years.
What made you move here?
I followed a boy here, and we met in college, and we decided to move to California together. And luckily, it was a good decision because we just got married, so it worked out. But when I moved here, I started hair school after I moved here because I was looking for, you know, my career path to find what I wanted to do, basically. And when I was thinking of ideas, I happened to be like around hair school, and it all just kind of like clicked together, and I was like, oh, this is what I should do. And I did 2 years of night school, and then I assisted, and here I am today.
What beauty school did you go to?
I went to Paul Mitchell to school in Sherman Oaks, which is right down the street from here, actually.
And how long have you worked at Butterfly Loft?
I've worked at Butterfly for about 3 or 4 years now. I think it's 3. I think it's 3 years now that I've worked here.
Did you assist before being on your own, and how was it?
Yes. After I finished hair school, it took me around 2.5 years, and then I immediately went into assisting, and I assisted another stylist down in Studio City. And I did that for another just about 2 years before I went out on my own and became a booth renter.
What advice would you give someone who's just starting out their hair career?
Someone who's just starting out their hair career, just like do as much hair as you possibly can. It's all a learning process, and the best advice I can give to someone is to just make as many mistakes as you can in the beginning, and then you can learn from that. And that's going to be the best way that you're going to learn and grow as a stylist.
What is your ideal clientele?
My ideal clientele are girls that want to change their hair pretty frequently, that like to keep up with like the changing trends. They're around 20s to mid 40s and just want to use their hair as creative expression. And probably like the last thing would be like share similar interests in me. So I want those girls who like read and watch anime and watch movies and get their inspiration from the things that they're watching and stuff.
What advice can you give to obtain like your ideal clientele?
Your ideal clientele is kind of going to be like what you put out is what you're going to attract. So if you're constantly doing like more naturals, then you're going to get more naturals. If you're constantly doing more creative colors and that's what you want to do, and you're putting that out there, then those girls that want to do creative colors are going to find you. And that's kind of how you build everything, by just putting it out there and just creating the kind of like art for the type of clientele that you want to kind of put feelers out and get from like the real world, basically.
So what keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated is being my own boss and living the life and creating the life that I want to have, because you grow up working for people, working for different bosses, and it's kind of hard to really find like it's kind of hard to be like your own individual person if you're not already in your career and you're just kind of like working or you're in school. So once you're like out actually in the real world, just the simple fact of like me, I'm the master of my own universe and I'm creating the life that I want, and that keeps me motivated to constantly be changing, evolving, and growing and doing more and doing new things and keeping up with trends and stuff like that. All of that is inspiration for me to create the life that I want to like live until I retire.
If you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
I could describe myself in, oh my god, only one word. It would be...
It could be more than one word. If you have like a motto or like something that you go by that like really resonates with you.
It would just be funny. It would just be funny or silly or goofy. Like those are probably like the main words that you're gonna like associate with me. Like no matter what type of like hair I'm doing, whether I'm doing like naturals, whether I'm doing blonding, whether I'm doing creative colors, like I'm always, with the people that are around me, I'm always trying to like cheer up people's moods and like be funny and silly and make people laugh. And so that's probably something that's universal regardless of if I'm just in my free time or if I'm working. I'm just a very silly person.
Yeah, I totally agree. So do you see yourself doing hair forever?
I see myself doing hair forever. Like this is the job that I think I was always searching for. I think no matter what path I took, I would always like end up here because I think I was always destined for something like artistic and creative. And even if I'm not like working on like a canvas with like paint, I'm still working on just a different type of canvas and a different type of paint basically.
Do you ever feel like sometimes you feel burnt out from work?
I feel burnt out all the time because I'm the only hairstylist in my group of friends, whereas like I have my group of hairstylist friends and then I have my group of friends that I brought with me basically from college to here, and I'm the only hairstylist. And so when I'm surrounded by people working like 9 to 5s and they always have like their weekends off and stuff like that, and if I'm working like too much and like breaking my back to kind of like accommodate like a large amount of clientele, then I'm just like killing myself with work, and then the passion like goes away because I'm just trying to get fit as many people as I can in my schedule. And once I start to feel that like pressure, it feels like I'm not in control of my universe. You know, I always want to be in control of my life. I want to be my own boss, and when it feels like I'm having to like overextend myself to make other people happy, then I've lost my passion.
So what do you do to kind of help with that, to help with the burnout?
To help with burnout, you know, it's really taking like as many models as you can and doing like collabs with like friends and coworkers and stuff, because that way you're able to fully be in a more creative mindset. You're stretching your creative muscles and you're doing something that's not just for work. You're doing something for you because you like this, and that really kind of like resets my passion for my career, and it helps me kind of like, you know, do some things that I wouldn't normally do on like a client, because even if I have a lot of creative clients, I'm not in control about what's happening. You know, someone's coming to me and they're wanting something specific, and some are more open-minded, but some are very like, no, I only want to do this and I don't want to do anything other than this. And by taking models and doing collabs, you're able to kind of like bounce ideas off of other people and find, you know, more passion and feel more creative in your everyday life.
So do you find it hard to maintain a good work-life balance?
It is definitely hard to maintain a good work-life balance because, you know, the more I'm working, the more successful I feel, the more financially stable I feel. But the more I'm working, the less free time I have, and then I feel like if I'm always at work, you know, up early and then staying here late, then, you know, what's the point of making all this money when I feel super tired and I'm not happy with what I'm doing. So finding that like balance of like, you know, when you want to kind of like bust out a really long couple of work days and then making sure you're taking time to rest and relax and reset as well, because you can't have one without the other. You can't just work and work and work and work and work, because otherwise you're just gonna get tired and you're gonna be out of the game like super early. And then at the same speed, like I can't not work because, you know, reality is we all have bills to pay. And so creating that, finding a good balance between like, you know, working, grinding and hustling, and then, you know, taking the time that you need to do to rest and relax. And, you know, you have to find that good balance. And it takes time, honestly. In the beginning, like, it's a hustle. But once you're like established, then it's really not about just taking a client just to take them. You know, you want to be happy that you're coming into work, basically.
Okay. So TikTok or Instagram?
I would say if you're a more established stylist, then both of these apps, you know, are just going to be like fun for you. But if you're younger and you're still growing, I would say TikTok over Instagram, because TikTok you're going to reach a wider, broader range of clientele. Okay, I thought she was like trying to come in here for some reason. I say TikTok because it's a little bit more creative, it's a little bit more fun, it's easier to tell different ways of different versions of your story, and it gets your kind of your voice and your art like out further into the world. Whereas Instagram is going to be great. I feel like Instagram is shifting over into just like an online portfolio, you know, just as a record of what you've been doing. But TikTok allows you more to use your own voice, to really show off more of your personality, and I think it's an easier way for the younger stylist to grow versus Instagram.
Do you prefer long hair or short hair?
It just depends on the style. I don't think I could choose, because I like doing short hair just as much as I like doing long hair, so I will keep that as like a 50-50 blend.
Okay, what about brunette or blonde? You're like both.
Blondes are, it's always, anyone can, I feel like anyone can be like have dark hair. Anyone can have one solid dark hair. Anyone can color their own hair dark. That's easy. But blondes are more meticulous. Blondes are more catered to, or customized. Blondes are more customizable, and I feel like that's just when, regardless of the level of blonde, because you know, you could still consider like a dimensional brunette a type of blonde, basically. So I say blondes over brunettes only because you can do so much more than them. You can keep them with them. You can keep them blonde, or you can throw a fun color on them. So blondes over brunettes. I'm sorry for all my brunette babies.
Okay, what about balayage or traditional highlights?
Traditional highlights all the way. I can still create a beautiful balayage effect with foils. I think foils are cleaner. I think foils are more meticulous and more more meticulous, more customizable, cleaner, and you're gonna get a brighter blonde when you're in foils. Balayage is beautiful and very soft and very sun-kissed, but it's very messy, and I don't like to be messy when I can help it. So I'm always gonna choose foils over open air balayage.
Okay, would you rather do a creative color or a color correction?
I'd rather do a creative color. Like bring it on. I love color corrections because they make you think, and you kind of have to like get yourself out of like a situation by using your own like color theory and problem solving. But creative colors, like, You make them blonde and then you throw on those colors, and the fun, it's just fun. It's more fun than it is like thinking about things. And so creative color over color correction.
Hairspray or texture spray?
Texture spray. Texture. Always texture. We only need hairspray for updos, really.
So what are your go-to styling products?
My go-to styling products are going to be a really good dry shampoo. I love a nice invisible dry shampoo because it caters to everyone, whether you have light hair or dark hair. Dry shampoo, a texture spray, a leave-in conditioner before you blow dry, a leave-in conditioner or a blowout spray. You can choose either or, and then a light smoothing serum to go on your ends to finish out your style for a little bit of shine and a little bit of pieciness. Yeah, that's what I would say.
And then what is your favorite hair hack?
My favorite hair hack? Oh, any hair hack? My favorite hair hack is if you have a girl with really airy hair that doesn't tease very well, you can spray a little bit of texture spray in it to tease it up, and then it'll keep that tease in there.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Because sometimes the hair is just too soft and
yeah,
it will not tease, but it's not really going to affect anything because you're not touching that tease. But when you have that texture spray in there, that tease stays there, and it gives you more control with anyone that you're doing like a teasy light or something.
Okay, back to our model. So once our model's hair reached to about a level 9 and 10, we went ahead and shampooed her, and we pre-toned her with the Pulp Bright Barcelona Purple shampoo to kind of help cancel out some of the yellow. And then after that, we blow dried her blonde completely, and we started to apply the color blocking. So I pretty much did the back and I let Hilary do the front. So the side quadrants is going to be the hot pink with the ghost blood transitioning into like a lime green, and the lime green was Area 51 and Flytrap. The pink was, I believe, Cupid and Candy. And then in the front bang area, the part that Hilary is doing right now, there is a blue at the root. The blue at the root is pretty much Blue Muse with a little bit of elixir just to kind of help cancel out some of the yellow. And then again, we use the ghost blood to transition into Sandstorm, which is another new color that just came out in the Elemental collection. And then in the very back quadrant, we did like a purple. We did elixir with some lilac melted into the ghost blood again, and then on the very ends we used just straight decoy. And then once all the semis were done processing for about 25 minutes, we rinse everything with some ice cold water. Alrighty guys, so here is our model's finished look. We were so obsessed with this color once we were done. I feel like the color and the cut just worked so well, and it definitely made it so nice that her hair was virgin and she had this beautiful natural dark color to contrast the colors that we did. We wanted to do something not your traditional rainbow color, but something nice and bright, and I feel like this was pretty much the perfect palette that we could ever think of. And I loved learning from Hilary of how to do a razor cut and blending out layers with a razor with how much hair our model had. It was really fun to learn how she did that, because I'm normally used to just cutting with my normal shears, but I definitely now feel like I want to try to do more razor cutting for doing kind of like a haircut like this. But yeah, I had so much fun collabing with Hilary. I hope I can do more videos like this with other people and her, even if we find another cool model to do some fun stuff, because this was honestly such a great experience. But yeah, that is it for this week's episode, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, give this video a thumbs up. And as always, I will talk to you guys next week.